Right, I've drewed, I've drewed a little pencil sketch. This is going to be a little path here. That's some bits there. Now I'm going to wet my paper right through with some moist water, or as a lot of people calls it, council pop in it. I think I'll just wet down to there. For that, got a mixture of cerulean blue with a little bit of Payne's grey added to it, giving me that dull, horrible, dirty, mucky sky colour. What's going to work perfect for this picture. Right, now I'm going to mix in more of that same colour. Payne's grey and cerulean blue. You know what, I might try and do my strokes that way so it looks like rain's coming in that way. Don't know if it's going to work, but I'm going to try it. Seems to come up higher on this side for some reason, so just do that. Look at that, looks like a little bod. That's one of my hairs on my brush. I'll pick that off when it's dried. So that's that. Hopefully with them brush strokes going that way. You know what, I could have done my sky that way as well. Might have made it look more like it's raining, but it's too late for that now. I wonder if I want to perhaps just try dead far back, just a couple of sort of really fine sort of twigs and stuff in the background. Really fine, so you can, I don't want to hardly see them at all. That's probably enough. There's going to be a lot more stuff on this side anyway. Right, right, and get some bigger trees in now. I think I'll start. What shall I? Yeah, what happens now? I'm going to leave that. In fact, I'm going to mix some more colour of that up on my brush. Cerulean blue, tiny bit of Payne's grey, and then I'm going to put some yellow into it. Bit of yellow in, get a sort of mucky green colour hopefully. See what it looks like. Just dab it on. There. So I'm just dabbing it on a spare piece of paper. It's just not quite green enough for me. Oh, still not green enough. Come on, tad more yellow, tad more yellow. That's about right, I think. A bit water to it and all. Same with this, you know, I might try and just take my brush strokes that way. So again, it might give that impression that rain's coming in that way. I don't know if it will, but it might. There we are. And then I think I'll come all the way across with this. A bit more water in there. Pop in a little bit more yellow into it on these bits here, and then I'd say a bit of Bontumber in there and all on these bits. Bit of Bontumber. So on these closer bits, it's probably because of the yellow and the Bontumber, it's probably making it look a bit closer. I'll leave that at that for now. I might end up going over that yet in a bit. And then I'm going to come over this side. Let's plop it in right on here as well. Same thing, plenty of this blue. Still going down at that angle. Some more of this green in. Bit of yellow in. That's it, a bit of Bontumber in there, a bit more yellow, a bit more Bontumber, a bit more yellow. A bit more blue to take it more greeny. Say I'll probably come back in on these front bits and do a bit more work on there. Right, I think what I'll do, squeeze that brush out now, get it to wash, and come in some more, mix up some more cerulean blue with a bit of Payne's grey, because this path seems to be that colour. Bit of a strange colour for a path, but right, just something to dry my brush out a bit, I think, and then slap it through and see what I can do. Something like that. Bit more lateral brush across. Maybe I can smooth some of that in a bit. Leave a few of them white bits in there, perhaps. A bit of me. Bit of some of there. There we are. Leave some of them white, little white flicks in there, look nice. That's my path. Well, in fact, could I just do a bit of a thing over that way with this path even? Make it look like that rain's coming across. Just a few bits like that. Right, now then. Right. Can mix up some cerulean blue again with some more Payne's grey. Probably more Payne's grey than the blue this time. Yeah, in fact there is. So there's a big tree. In fact, let me get my little trees in background first before I do my big tree. There's a load of little trees in this background. And when I say a load, I mean a load. There's loads of them. That bluey colour's good, it's taking some of them right back. A few darker ones. Let's see, get some closer upper ones. See, I'll tell you what, get this big brush now then and do, there's a big one here. Like that. So that one, yes, let's make this one a bit bigger. There's one about there. That's it. And then onto them big ones if we need any bits coming off, we can just bap them in like that. There we are. So that's that. Now then, I think what have I got on here now? Let's get this right. This is to represent all my twigs. So I'm going to just bash the end of my brush up, I think. Just do it like that. So this is all my twigs. I'm bash end of my brush up. I've got a tiny bit of thin paint on. And this is for all my little twigs, what's in there. And down here I think there's going to be a lot of little twigs and stuff down there and all. I'll pop that in. That's it. Right. I think I'm going to do the same that side for now. I'll go with a light blue colour first. There's a lot of little trees and stuff over here. You ain't got to be too careful, you can even do that, look. Because there's a lot of stuff going on in here. Get some trees in there, look, some more, bit more details in it as I go towards the edge. Something like that, you see. I'll tell you what's been going on here while I'm painting this. So I'm basically going to repeat what I've done that side, this side, so I can chat to you a little bit about what's been happening. Right, my stepbrother, Doofus, who's just recently got a job as a lollipop man. Well, he's on his final written warning already. Final written warning. What a prat. He can't seem to hold a job down, can he? Can't seem to do it. Yeah, he's got his stop sign, what the council's given him, right? But then he's got his own sign, what he's been taking in. So he's got the stop sign in one hand, and then he's got this sign he's made up himself, laughing at my coat sign in the other hand. And well, they've obviously told him, no, you're not taking that sign in with you. You're on your final written warning. I'm sick of telling you. He's prattling about all the time, showing off to the kids, because I think basically he's got a similar mental age to these kids, so he's showing off all the time. He's got the lollipop, he keeps licking it to make the kids laugh. What, they're not very happy about that. Some of the parents have complained and stuff, so they're not very happy about that. And just generally acting like a right prat, so he's ended up on his final written warning. Let's get pop some little branches on here. He needs to concentrate on what he's doing. It's a responsible job. You've got to make sure them kids get across that road all right. I don't know why they've... Well, I do know why they're getting a job, because no one else applied for it, but it's a responsible job. There we are. Right, now it looks like there's some twigs in here, but it looks like there's some a few leaves as well. Let me dab that, it's a bit strong. There's some twigs in there, but I'm sure there's a few leaves in there and all. Maybe, I don't know. I'm looking at the picture. It looks like maybe there is a few twigs in the bottom there. What's that? Nah. Yeah, I think there's a tree here. Get some green. I think one of these trees has got one of them things, you know how they have the things growing up it, like that. It's got one of them. So I'll pop that in. All I've done here, look, is I've just split the end of my brush up so it's spiky. That's all I've done. Down here, it looks like there's something about here where there's just a couple of green leaves still on. Just on a couple of bits about there, perhaps. Right, there's a big bush here. There's lots of bushes and stuff in here. This is where this is going to get built up. Right. Yeah, that's more like it. And down here, there's a lot of green and stuff. I think I'll end up saying here, bring some of these greens right to the edge of this bath. Let's have a look. Yeah, there's some right in this corner here. I can take that off now, I think. yeah, I've been sort of forced to apply for a job and all. I wanted to be a surfboard instructor, and my mum and my stepdad saying, you've got no experience. I know I've never been surfing on the sea, but I've done loads and loads of practice, because I get to my surfboard and I surf on the bed. It's exactly the same as being in sea, so I know that I'll be alright as a surfboard instructor. But they're saying I live in dreamland, and they're saying if you look in on the internet and for the local areas, there's no jobs as a surfboard instructor anyway, so I've got to be more realistic and just go for a job what's actually advertised. So my mum's had a look for me, and she were right, there weren't any for surfboard instructors, but there was one for shelf stacking, so I've had to apply for that. I'm pretty sure I ain't got it. I rung it up about it, and chap says to me, he goes, you're not that prat who runs around garden with his 45-year-old stepbrother, are you? Playing army with water pistols. Everyone calls them the Pratt brothers. He said only his name's Bertie. And I says, no, I'm not him. So I said, he's a right divvy. I didn't know what else to say, because obviously I am him. What's wrong with that? We're just enjoying us, sends, playing a bit of army. What? I don't see the problem. But anyway, I just said he were a right divvy and that I want him. I'll tell you what I might be tempted to do. Sometimes I just, on these trees, I just get them. I just pull out a couple of leaf shapes like that one. These ones. And then what grow up the trees. Right, so let's get a bit of Burnt Umber and Payne's Grey, and just come in and do some low lights in here. That one. That's it. And I might do the same thing on that. Just pull out. You can see what I'm doing? I've got that there, and if it's still wet enough, just pull out a couple of, just looks like a few leaves like that one. You best do it fast, then you get random bits. But don't go mad on it. You only need a couple. That's all you need. Could even get a little brush if I wanted. This might work good. A little brush, some yellow, bit of green, bit of blue, sorry, to make green, and then I could do a few like that as well. Look, just to make it look like a few separate little leaves. And we don't paint every single little leaf on. We usually just bash it in with this, but why not? Why not go a bit extra? Right, in fact, there's a little bush about there what's got a similar effect on, so I'll do that. So I'll get plenty of paint on, but I want the end of my brush quite dry, and at the minute it's a bit wet, so I've got to try and bash it up a bit. That's it. So end of my brush, I've got, you want fairly dry paint on, but I've ended up with fairly wet, so hopefully it's going to work. No, I don't think it is. Right, I'll pop some more in with this, just fill some of these spaces up a bit, and then I'll come back when it's dried a bit. Some bits like that, some bits in here, in there. These bits here, I'm going to need something around the bottom of them trees for definite, so just pop in a bit of darker in there to blend them bits in, and there, see a bit there, a bit in here. Right, now I'm going to get some Payne's Grey, some Burnt Umber, pop bottom of here, pop that in, and then I'll add a bit there as well for some grasses and stuff. Then I'll take this, pull a couple of grasses in there with that. Paint might be slightly wet, but no, I think I've got away with it. I'll do a couple this side as well. It's walking, it's not really. And then try and pull a few of them leaves out again with that, if it'll work. Just a couple of leaves like that. And then get this little brush again, pop a couple of dark ones in like that, just for little tiny bits of extra details in there. Well, get this one, we're nearly done that, and just pop in a few, a bit darker, a few blades of grass with this one. Same again, not wind mentals, a couple of blades of grass, that's all it needs. There. So look at that. Oh, my screen's gone. Doolally. Let's have a look. Right, that's not bad. All I'm thinking now is let's strengthen up some of these trees a little bit. Some of these trees here, it's still looking a bit distant. So if I put a bit of burnt umber and Payne's grey, probably with slightly more burnt umber to warm it up. And if I'll tell you what, I'll start over here. I'm going to that one there, like that. I might get another brush on go. So let's use that one and this one. So one's got the paint on, one's just got water on. So that's it. I'm just going to soften that in. Like that. I brought that tree a bit closer. And this one. Water on, soften front. I think wherever white light's going, because there's a gap in here, probably going to come in this way, probably. Where it is now, because that's what I've done. It's just getting these trees a bit of roundness to them, and all this does. A bit of extra blue one now, bring that one a bit thicker there. Let's see. And that one. Does that look better? Let me just stand back and have a look. Yep. It's better. So I think my light's coming in here, so I think what I'll do on these ones, I'll stick me light on that side as well. Something like that. A bit of one there, and a bit of one there. That'll work fast now, actually, two at the same time. I don't want it to dry. There. Don't worry about that. Bit of water. So that's that. Take that up there. That's made it look a bit better, hasn't it? Some of this dark off this and just take a bit of a shadow going through there or something, perhaps. That'll do. I'm going to get a dark green just down this back bit of this one. So I'll pop in like that. And then get some water and soften it in. That's just to give me a shadow on that one. I could actually. So some shadows coming off them. That looks nice, doesn't it? Just Payne's grey and a bit of green. Shadows coming through there and stuff. So some bits in. Especially these, they're quite distant, so the actual trees are quite pale, so the shadows are going to be pretty pale, you see. So, there we are. I don't know whether to just brown that path a bit. In my photo it's a bit like a sort of tarmac path, but I don't really want a tarmac path. I've kept it that colour because I thought it'd blend in with me picture good, but I want to change it. A bit of Bontumber into there down that side. We'll have it a muddy, mossy sort of thing. Yeah, I think that looks okay, doesn't it? Shall we have a few marks going vertical? That just gives me the dip in there, around there. There we are. I think we're about done. Don't think I'm going to put my two little bods in this one. I think I'll just give it a little sign. We've got a dry bit. Dryish there. Back there. Birdie. Let me stand back and have a look. Yeah, it's not bad that. I could still probably do them trees a bit stronger in this foreground. Say a quick blast at it. See if I can get it. Just these ones a bit stronger. Probably that one and that one. That's it. And a bit of water in to just soften it again a little bit on the front. See, and then I think now probably this one's slightly in front of that other one. So I'll put just slightly warmer colours as well, just to bring them in. They just need bringing a little bit closer, and then I think that will do it. So slightly warmed it up there, just as I stood back. That's what you've got to do, stand back and look at your picture. And as I stood back, they didn't look quite close enough, so let me just have another stand back and have a look. Yeah, that's better, that's brought them in a bit closer. And then looking at that, maybe a tiny bit more of this warmer colour up here as well, just on this bit. So just bash the end of my brush up. It's more on this bit here than, for some reason, more on this side than the other side. Well, I'll pop a little bit on that side as well, just not quite as much. That's just wound it up a bit. There we are. Stand back now, one more look. I think I'm quite happy at that. Yeah. That's a few little shadows and reflections and stuff. Take these reflections a bit stronger, I think. Just off these two. Might be some bits of stuff coming up. There we are. Happy painting. And I'll see you on beach. Yeah, go on, have a look at that. I'll see you on beach. Eeny.